Hello and welcome to the lineup. I'm your host, Loghan Hirkey, and today I will be speaking with one of my good friends, Corrine Wilm. Corrine is a junior at Villanova University and an environmental science major and engineering entrepreneurship minor. She also loves horses and is a member of the Villanova Equestrian team. She has ridden in the styles of English and Western her entire life and has received many first-place ribbons at the Intercollegiate Horse Shows Association, better known as IHSA, during her time at Villanova. Hi, Corrine. Welcome to the show. So nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
So, where did it all begin? How did you find your love for horseback riding?
I've lived on a farm my whole life, so I've grown up riding horses since I was a baby, basically. And it's always been the sport that has stuck with me. You know, you grow up and you're doing soccer and baseball and running, and all of those sports were fun, but this was the one that I really wanted to stick with, especially coming into college. I knew I wanted to join the team.
And explain to me the difference. I know there's Western and English style riding. If you could give a little explanation about that.
Yeah, so Western and English are both equestrian, so you're both dealing with horses. Western is more what you see in the Western films, the cowboy, cowgirl films. It's roping, it's bull riding, as a realm of Western. But as far as equestrian goes, it's roping, it's barrel racing, it's different tacks. So it's more blingy and it's more like fast paced sometimes. Equestrian under the English subset is more jumping and equitation and dressage. What we do at Villanova is mostly equitation and jumping. Great.
And which do you prefer out of the two styles?
That's really hard to say. I really like a lot of things about both of them. Definitely at Villanova, I prefer the English equestrian team. I think it's really run well, and it's been a good part of my time at Villanova. But in general, I'd say the thing that I do really like about Western is it's very it's freeing. You're riding and it's fast and it's blingy and it's fun. English equestrian is super fun as well, but in a different way. I really like the jumping aspect of it, and you know, no matter what realm you're doing, you're making a bond with the horses and with your team. So I really enjoy both of them.
And talk to me a little bit about the Villanova Equestrian team. Who can join and what goes into it?
So anyone can join. You have to try out, but that's more of a formality, I'd say. As long as you're not a liability in the barn, you're probably going to get on the team. So we have a really wide range of abilities on the team, from really experienced people who showed a lot in high school to just beginning. I have someone in my lesson group right now who's just a beginner. So basically anyone can join, and we welcome all people. I'd say that most of the people who tend to join at this level have had experience before and are more on the experienced side. That's just the nature of the sport itself. But we accept all different types of riders.
Cool. And what can someone expect being on the team? What goes into it?
So we have practices weekly. So you would go to those, and that's just you going with your group to the barn and getting your lesson with your coach. And then there's also team bonding events. So we did, in the past, we've done parties as a group. We've done boot cleaning parties. We've done brunches, a bunch of different bonding events and experiences. It's a great way to meet new people if anyone's interested in joining.
And what kind of training is involved in learning how to ride?
So basically you'll start as a beginner if that's what you're coming in as, and then the coach will teach you the basics, how to steer, how to engage in your seat, different posture techniques. But if you already have some of that experiences after you've been assessed a little bit, then you can go straight into more of the technical riding abilities, especially through jumping and other technicalities of the riding sport.
And where do you ride? Where's the barn located?
Last semester we were at Great Scott Farm. Now we're at Durango Farm, and it's about a 30-minute drive from Villanova, maybe a little bit less on a good day, but it's about a 30-minute drive, and yeah, so that's our new barn, Durango Farm.
And how does an IHSA horse show work?
So you basically show up with your team. I'll take you from the beginning. So basically you start and your whole group is picked up in a car. So we're carpooling with our team, and we stop at Wawa, we get snacks to fuel up for the day. Then we get to the show, we check in, and you come already set up in your attire for the day for the most part. I mean, you'll put your helmet on as your event comes closer and as your class comes closer, but you're already kind of set up with your riding gear, which means like a blazer, you got your riding pants on, you got your boots on, your clean boots. That's a big thing, your clean boots. And you come all ready to ride, and then you pick a horse's name basically out of a hat, sometimes literally out of a hat, but you're assigned a horse during the day of the show. So you don't know who you have until you get there, and the only information you have is on a sheet. So you're judged a lot on how you can adapt in the moment to a new horse and show your skills based on that.
Wow, so a very long day.
Yeah, it's a long day. It starts early. You get back kind of in the later afternoon, but it's a long day.
Nice. And how long is the showing season?
It's the entire semester for both semesters, but during the beginning of the year, there's about a 2 to 3 week period just so that people can get back into the swing of things and get practiced again in the barn.
And walk me through the different levels that riders can compete at these shows.
Sure. So you have the introductory levels, which is for people who are just kind of starting out, new to the sport, new to competing. And then you have limit, intermediate, and open. So there's a few different levels, and people are placed all throughout that. It's actually good if you have riders on all different levels as a team because you can earn significantly more points that way. This is actually a part of how the team comes into play because you're, of course, getting your individual ribbons throughout the day, and you're competing for yourself, but as a team, the points start to accumulate towards the end of the show itself, and everything's tallied up, and so there will be a school that wins at the end of the day as well.
And what do these points add up to? What are they for?
Well, just to win each show itself, and also as an individual rider, you can qualify for regionals and nationals, and you can go to compete at those, which you would qualify for by pointing out of your class.
And what are the different points for each ribbon? Do you know?
Yeah, so first is 7 points, and then second is 5, and then it's in 1 point increments from there. So then third would be 4, and so on.
And which is your favorite? Which is your favorite level to compete at? Jumping? Do you like cantering? Yeah,
I like the jumping a lot. I've always, like as a kid, I've always said that I really like to fly. So it's kind of like a dumb little thing, but I really like the feeling that you get from going around because you're really definitely engaged in the moment, and it's super fun actually. It's definitely a workout, but it's a fun workout. So I really like the jumping mostly. I mean, the flat classes are super fun as well, but I'd say if I had to pick, I would pick jumping.
And what goes into a flat class? What kind of is trotting and cantering? What are the differences between those styles?
So trotting is going to be it's a slower pace. It's bouncier. I think that's a good way to describe it. And you're going to be posting, which is going up and down with the rhythm of the horse. It's basically different speeds and different motions, and you're going to be adapting as a rider with the horse to those different motions.
Great. And do you have any plans to continue riding after college or showing?
Yeah, I definitely will keep riding my whole life. It's a sport that means a lot to me. But as far as showing goes, I'm not super sure yet. It would definitely be something I can compete with as an individual, so getting to those shows would be sort of on my own instead of as a team at Villanova, but I would definitely do competing in the future. For me, I do it a lot, so more is just because I really love it as a sport and as something that I look forward to doing at my house or with other friends and family. So I will definitely continue to do it, just not sure about how I'm going to be showing yet. Definitely going to be riding though.
Do you know how the adult shows work? This individual way of going to them?
Yeah, so growing up I've been to shows and there's riders of all different disciplines and all different levels and all different ages. So you can enter adults classes. Even the ones I've been at, I've seen adults compete. So those are definitely an option in the future.
And what will be the next show that you're competing at?
The next show that I'm personally going to be at is November 4th, I believe. And I know that the one before at Villanova is going to. It's the Halloween show, which is always super fun. They have a costume class, actually. So you're not riding with the costumes on, but as a team, you kind of walk around and the best costume wins. So that's one way that they make it super fun as well. But the next normal, I guess, show would be the one in November, early November.
And how do they choose where these locations are for the shows?
So we compete with different like divisions in IHSA. It's broken up based on location, and so we rotate to schools. So one show would be at Villanova, one show might be at UPenn, one might be at Drexel. So you're going around to different schools and their barns as part of this process.
Could you talk a little bit about our home show?
Sure. Yeah, that's November 11th this year, and every year we ask all of our riders to be there and all of our team members, even if they don't get to show, which most of the time we all get to show, but depending on numbers and limits to class entries, all of us might not be able to show, but we all show up as a team. We help set up the horses, we bathe them, we tack them up, we get them ready, we warm them up, which is something only someone not competing in the show can do. So if you're not there as a competitor for the day, you're there to warm up the horse, to help set up as a team, and you're going to be definitely a big asset to helping the show run smoothly. There's a lot of little tasks to do during the day.
And what goes into tacking up the horse?
Basically, you're going to groom the horse first, well, catch the horse first, and then groom the horse, and you're going to brush them off, pick their feet, tack them up, make sure that they look good and that everything looks okay. Then you're going to go bring them out to the riding ring, and you're going to get ready for your lesson through a warm-up after you're tacked up and ready to go.
And how has this changed from going to a different barn been so far?
So far it's been really nice. I'm liking the coach, and the team has adapted pretty well. I'd say we're new in the process. We're still getting used to the new barn and where everything is, and the new horses and the names of the horses even. So it's definitely a process to get used to, but it's going smoothly so far, and it's been nice, yeah.
And is there a favorite horse at home?
Yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite, but the two that I ride the most, so we have 5 at my house, but the two that I ride the most are Beasley and Cody. One's a Mustang, one's a paint. So they're both very different. They're both very energetic, and I really like that. But they both have different personalities and big personalities, so I like them. And they're horses that I've grown up with riding, so the horses at the barn, I see them less, but I've grown up with the horses at my house.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Corrine. It was really nice learning about this.
Thank you for having me.
That's all for the lineup. I'm Loghan Hirkey, and see you again soon.